Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is honestly my least favorite movie of the year. As an OG FNAF fan, it really hurts me to say this, but I find this movie horrible. Now, I have many things to say about this movie, so let's stop the yap and start this video already. Spoilers alert for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and don't forget that this video is entirely subjective, and you have the right to have your own opinion. So this new FNAF movie gave me a headache. Literally. I've been trying to understand this weird feeling that I had when leaving the theater after watching this weird sequel. So if I could summarize this entire movie in one sentence, it would be this. It's an accumulation of references. I feel like Scott Cawthon wrote this story by choosing many references from his games that, when put together, could make somewhat of a coherent story, and even leave many Easter eggs behind. Still, I feel like this story has many flaws and is just incomprehensible. It's a movie that follows exactly the same pattern as the previous movie, and I think this recycled story isn't necessarily better than the previous one. Sure, it has higher stakes and explores new horizons, but I think it's too much of a repetitive journey for me, with so many scenes of animatronics getting activated and deactivated all the time. Like, seriously, why did they have to be deactivated and reactivated so many times? And my biggest problem with the movie is the usage of its characters. I feel like every single character in this movie had some sort of problem. Except Abby. I think her purpose in the story was well used and integrated, but the rest of the characters all had some sort of problem. Mike's relationship with Vanessa is just so weird, and his opinion is always switching on her in the most incomprehensible ways possible. I don't think his attachment towards her at the beginning of the movie was believable enough in the first place, and I don't see how he can blame all of what happened on her at the end, because all she's been doing is helping him and Abby, so her loyalty was pretty obvious from the start. So the way he told her to stay away from them is so uncalled for, in my opinion, even after the big reveal of her being Michael's sister. Talking about Michael, what did I think of him? Well, this is surprising, seeing how the story of the video games went. But hey, the movie universe is not related to the video game universe, so they can do whatever they want with these characters. But Michael, oh dear Michael, you are such a mysterious character with no real reason shown why you would be helping your father in the first place. And you're telling me that Vanessa was William's favorite child, even if she was the rebellious one? I feel like this movie implemented plot lines that don't have any sort of solid background or motivations behind, and Michael Afton is one of them. Like I said, this movie is just an accumulation of references. But shout out to his actor though, because he had solid facial expressions and added a good amount of uncomfortableness. Now, Vanessa having these nightmares about her father made us, the viewers, more attached to her, because it demonstrates that she is struggling with something, and we want her to be able to overcome this struggle. This is a nice background for her character, but where did that leave her at the end? Nowhere. Her importance in the story was more in relation towards Mike and Charlotte, but her solo journey was just there to demonstrate that her father is a monster, and that's it. I think she was badly used in this movie again, but at least it's nice to see that they gave her more time to develop her story on screen. Now, talking about Charlotte, I think her introduction scene was nice, and it gave her a motivation to become the villain of the movie, even if the parents' reactions were unbelievable. Like, there is no parent that would have reacted this way when hearing a kid say that they saw another kid get kidnapped, you know? So her reasons for being evil are explained, but are they any good? Well, in my opinion, it didn't really make much sense, even for a child, to hate parents that much because of what happened. To me, it just gave her an unbelievable determination, if you understand what I'm trying to say. And her powers, I don't understand how they work. How is she able to possess any human being when the other kids in the animatronics can't? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And maybe it would have if they cared to explain how it works somehow. Now, can we all agree that Skeet Ulrich and Mecca Grace's characters were pretty much used mainly for the promotional aspect of this movie? Henry was only there for one scene, even if his character is important to the storyline, and Lisa was used as a puppet for the marionette. Get it? Did you get the joke? They had such a small importance in the plot, but their presence in the marketing for this movie was massive. It's a bit unbalanced, if you get what I mean. And so yeah, I believe it's all I had to say about the important characters. Now, the animatronics had some fun scenes, but some of them felt unneeded and were just there to reference something. For example, all of the withered animatronics were honestly just there because they are part of the original FNAF 2 video game. But in this movie, they honestly could have been left out of it. Apart from wandering around and adding a little bit of suspense with Mike's scenes, I can't recall what their purpose in the story was. Now, the toy animatronics, on the other hand, had much more importance and were the primary focus of the movie. Their scenes weren't all that great, in my opinion, but at least they added an entertaining touch to the movie, because without them, I think I would have just fallen asleep in the theater. Their voice acting was pretty great though, I will give them that, but the way they were used, like when they were wandering around crowds, was just so goofy. Mangle was the best out of them. There, I dare say it. I think Mangle had the scariest scene out of them, because we could see how much control she or he had over the car, with her or his parts just demolishing every part of the car. Now, the old animatronics' sudden return at the end was so uncalled for, if you would ask me. Like, I get it, they somehow came back for Abby, but I think this movie would have worked okay even without them. They were not needed in the movie and still had a power friendship type of moment at the end. Or you can even call it an Avengers Assemble type of moment. Now, before moving on to a more positive note, let me add a little thing that I disliked about this movie. An Easter egg carrying potential importance for the plot. Circus Baby. What the f was she doing there? To me, it was just another example of how they accumulate references throughout the entire film. She is important in the video games, so her sudden appearance in this movie for like 5 seconds just feels wasted. This movie is just filled with fan service, which I find disappointing. Now, I think I've said a lot of bad things about this movie, so let me balance things up a bit by mentioning what I like about this movie. The toy animatronics look so good. I think they have the best designs yet in the movie franchise. I think some of the jump scares worked, even if most of them have no tension building up to them. My favorite one is the puppet breaking out of Toy Chica's body. That one was honestly pretty good and scary. I mean, what's a FNAF movie without any jump scare? It's like the heart of the franchise, so it makes sense to have some of those. Abby's acting when portraying the marionette at the end of the movie was really good and scary. I like her enthusiastic energy chasing Vanessa. It made the scene scarier somehow for me. Some of the toy animatronic scenes were pretty captivating, even with the large amount of references stashed in them. And so overall, what did I think of the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie? Well, it's an accumulation of references that lacks a strong story and just jumps from one subject to another without necessarily building up to some sort of satisfying climax. The characters all have some kind of problem, and most decisions taken by them felt unbelievable and led to a weird storyline overall. And so, I will give this movie a 3.5 out of 10. Now, with a third movie possibly on the way, what can we expect from it? Well, honestly, I already had no expectations for this sequel, and it turned out worse than I could have imagined. So I'm pretty sure this third one will be as horrible as this one. What did you guys think of Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Tell me your opinions in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to this channel. It really helps small creators like me. Leave a like or dislike if you want, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya!